Hi, I'm Guido, and today we have a special guest, my kitten Shishi. She's a Scottish fold, and like all women, is very talented and fascinating. We really couldn't have a better companion in our journey today at the discovery of the huge role that women play in mythology, history, and movies. Hi, Sirush! I see you got company. What's your name? Melusine! I know your story. Do you also want to discover it too? Visit my website. With the company of the kitten Shishi and the dragoness Melusine, we are ready to start by meeting some female warriors.
Harder! You're stronger than this, Diana. Again. Never let your guard down. You expect a battle to be fair. A battle will never be fair.
The inspiration for DC's Wonder Woman, Princess Diana, came from Greek mythology. Athena was the goddess of military strategy, which could be surprising for us, because we generally think of war and combat as more masculine pursuits. But Greek mythology even had a whole realm led exclusively by warrior women, that of the Amazons. They lived in the Pontus, in modern-day Turkey, near the Black Sea, and they were ruled by Queen Hippolyta, as seen here in the DC version. Men, as you can imagine, were absolutely forbidden to live in their kingdom. In fact, they were allowed to visit only once a year to, well, procreate. The Amazons only raised female children, with male children either sent back to their fathers, left to die in the wilderness, or even outright killed. Probably the most famous myth about the Amazons is Heracles' quest to gain the girdle of Hippolyta. This was the ninth of Heracles' labors. Read the full story on mythology.com. Definitely lesser known, but closer to us in time, were the Dahomey Amazons, who lived in Africa, specifically in Dahomey, modern-day Benin. Did you know, Sirush, that these women originated as a group of elephant hunters in the period between 1645 and 1685? They were trained as royal bodyguards and also served as a militia. In fact, they comprised 1/3 of the entire Dahomey army. Their warrior status was sacred. As such, they couldn't marry or have children, and many of them were virgins. The last one of the Dahomey Amazons died in 1979. For sure, Melusine! We can't forget that in our home continent of Europe, specifically in the north, we find the Celtic goddesses, Badb, Macha, and Morrigan. They were originally seen as personifications of the life cycle and fertility, but after the Celtics fought against the Romans and after the coming of Christianity, they acquired warrior connotations. If you want to know more, well, you know where to look. Norse mythology features the Valkyries, female warrior spirits who flew over the battlefields and chose the bravest warriors who had died and carried their souls to Valhalla, the Norse heaven. Among the most famous Valkyries were Brunhild and Freyja. Richard Wagner composed the famous music Ride of the Valkyries as part of his operatic cycle, The Ring of the Nibelung. More about this in my previous video at Joan of Arc Part 2. Now, the question is, if mythologies reflect societies, did these powerful goddesses and spirits reflect the ordinary women of these societies? Well, in Norse and Spartan societies, they did.
I come to you as a mother. I come to you as a wife. I come to you as a Spartan woman.
Spartan women were taught to read, write, and defend themselves at a very young age. Their Viking counterparts ran households and farms, were allowed to divorce their husbands, and had even more rights than most women in Europe at that time. Certainly, Melusine, you're right. All of these female warriors, whether real or mythological, have inspired the creation of many modern heroines in movies, including Sarah Connor, Katniss Everdeen, Princess Leila, Helen Ripley, Chani of Dune.
Their cruelty to my people is all I've known.
And superheroines like Captain Marvel.
Hi, I'm Peter Parker.
Hey, Peter Parker. You got something for me?
And Black Widow. Sirush, Melusine, did you know that a recurring female figure in myths and religions the world over is the Mother Goddess? The Mother Goddess is portrayed as a key goddess, apparent to other deities, human beings, life, or even the entire universe. One of the main branches in Hinduism is Shktism, in which the Supreme Being is viewed as essentially feminine, a deity from which the other gods and the whole universe flows. In between religion and war, we can't help but talk about Joan of Arc, the best-known woman of the 400s, who died at age 19, burned as a heretic precisely for being out of the norm.
Calling me. Everything was moving so fast. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. God had given me a message. A message to deliver.
What was the message?
I want that girl burned.
Joan of Arc declared herself a bringer of a message from God. Very often, oracles, bringers of messages, but also steerers of fate, were feminine. The Norns, in Norse mythology, set the fate for each mortal, determining how long their life was and the manner of their death. In Greek mythology, the Moirai had the very same function. They made sure that all mortals, and even the gods, lived their lives as fate had decided. In Irish mythology, the Morrigan were not only associated with wars and battles, but also with fate, as they could determine the outcome of these wars and battles. And in the ancient texts of Hinduism, the Vedas, we find the goddess of dawn, Ushas, who, in her function as a dawn goddess, guarded the cosmic order Rata, which also encompassed fate. In modern movies, we still see the association between the feminine and the idea of prophecy. Trelawney?
He will return tonight.
Sorry?
Tonight, he who betrayed his friends, whose heart rots with murder, shall break free. Innocent blood shall be spilt, and servant and master shall be reunited once more.
In the next episode, we will discuss the concept of fate and the ambiguity over whether these, often female, figures who predict fate can also set it. At the end of the day, what's the line between seeing the future and determining it?
You're the Oracle?
Bingo. Not quite what you were expecting, right? Almost done. Do anyway. And don't worry about the vase.
What vase?
That vase.
I'm sorry.
I said don't worry about it. I'll get one of my kids to fix it.
How did you know?
Oh. What's really going to bake your noodle later on is, would you still have broken it if I hadn't said anything?